Hi, my name is Jason Taylor, and this is my presentation portion for Criminal Justice Class 2410. It's the Trace the Path research paper and presentation. So for this assignment, we focused on the court processes in dealing with juveniles and how they differ from like general court or those designed for adults. Juvenile court is a lot different because they tend to focus more on rehabilitation versus jail time, prison time, things like that. Um, their focus with the rehabilitation is to be a positive influence on that young person's life and hopefully keep them out of a life of crime. Um, for the research paper that I did, I kind of focused on how the difference between like general court and juvenile court in the case of someone going maybe into a convenience store and stealing something. Um, in adult court or general court, that person, being an adult, is going to go stand before a judge, and they're going to, if they're convicted and they're found guilty, they're going to pay fines, pay restitutions. They may serve some jail time, depending on how many offenses they already have in their past and things like that. They may even serve some prison time. Um, Whereas a juvenile doing that, especially like a first offense, they're probably going to be placed on probation for a while, have a probation officer checking on them, kind of holding them accountable for what they're up to and what they're doing. They may be required to do some counseling and things like that to help them see a positive, positive in life and help them make better decisions. Um, the underlying philosophy of the rehabilitation is to protect that young person from becoming jaded and just becoming a statistic in the courts and in jail and in prison. The focus is to give them a more positive, better outlook on life and help them make better decisions and let them realize that there are better ways, and that maybe just because a family member or because they come from a bad home or a family member is involved in crimes and stuff, it doesn't mean they have to go down that same road, that there are options. And I think that's what you see a lot of times with young people is they come from troubled homes, they come from homes where they maybe don't have a dad or whatever to be a positive influence, or maybe their moms and dads are into drugs, or a lot of abuse in the home, things like that, and so they just think that that's where they're at and their life is worthless and they're just going to go down the same path as their parents. And these real rehabilitation services that the courts provide for juveniles really helps them have a positive influence in their life, maybe through a probation officer or something like that, but also help them with counseling and stuff to make better decisions and realize that they don't have to go down the same road as their parents and stuff. They can be the ones in their family that says enough is enough. I'm going to change. I'm not going to be like this anymore. Ethical issues in dealing with juveniles, especially like I said in my research paper here, if a juvenile was placed in jail or in prison like an adult, there's a lot of abuse that goes on in prisons, whether it be mental, physical, sexual abuse, whatever. And it's not just from prisoners, sometimes it's from the guards that are there to protect the prisoners and hold them accountable. And so a young person going into that, I mean, it's traumatic for an adult. And if a young person is placed in that, they're going to probably suffer a lot of abuse. So the courts have tried to ethically decide what is best for that juvenile to protect them and yet help them see a better life and help them pay for their crimes and yet in the same regard protect them. So anyways, based on all the information that I've talked about and that I've given in my research paper, I really feel like real rehabilitation is the answer in dealing with young people in the court systems. It's a lot better than placing them in adult courts where they're gonna, be serving time in jails and things like that with the adult population. It's just not safe for them. Rehabilitation helps them have those positive influences in their life. Counseling can help them, maybe open up to things that are going on in their life and maybe get to the bottom of why they're acting out or why they're committing these crimes and stuff. So rehabilitation is definitely, in my opinion, the answer to juveniles and troubled teens. Thanks a lot, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.